Hey everybody, happy Friday. It's Kate Richburg for Free Tip Friday. It is Friday, September 12th. I hope everyone's hanging in there this week. Kind of a crazy week, but today we are going to be creative and bring ourselves together through creativity. I am looking at I was having a little bit of a connection trouble. So let me know. It looks like it's evened out, but if something happens to the connection, just stay right there and I'll come back. Okay, just to let you all know. So let me go through some of the comments here. And then we're going to get down to it. It looks like everyone's here. Janice, of course, is on the other side of the computer doing some moderating. We've got everyone who's anyone is here today on Friday, right? Weather is cooling down. It looks like it's great. A few of you haven't been to the lives lately, so it's great to have you all here. Let me just keep going through. All right. I wanted to let you know a couple of things. First, let me put this up. I forgot to do it on Wednesday, and of course, you know where to find us. All over on our socials. You can find us on Facebook at the Bead Table, our fantastic Facebook group, Instagram at beadshop.com, our Pinterest pages. Do me a solid, my friends, and hit that like, subscribe, and notification button, would you? Right there, especially if you're watching on YouTube, that's where you want to do it. Our subscription rate is rising, but right now, if you're watching us on replay or you're watching us live, hit us up and hit that subscribe button. All over socials at beadshop.com. And of course, you can reach out anytime at info@beadshop.com. So a couple of things I wanted to let you folks know about. Next Wednesday is my birthday broadcast. It's actually my birthday next Wednesday, which will be my last year in my 50s. So we're really going to celebrate. We're going to have a fun bead party. Janice and I are cooking up a great drop for you. We're going to do some giveaways on this live. I've got some giveaways from the retreat, some of the notebooks my mom made. So it's going to be fun. We're going to have a bead party next week on Wednesday. So that's going to be fun times. So mark your calendars for that. This weekend, I am working on my birthday project. I gave you a hint of it last week, but it'll be in the newsletter this weekend, so you can follow along and make one with me. There's that. Also, Janice's gathering on the East Coast. I think there's only 2 spaces left. So if you want to join us, join Janice for that. It's October 11th, right? You want to make sure that you get signed up. Okay. Lori is asking about the newsletter. So Lori, what you do is you jump on. So let me talk a little bit about the newsletter. Jump on and on our homepage at beadshop.com, there's a link that says sign up for the newsletter, right? So go ahead, sign up there. The newsletter goes out almost every day. It should go out every day at between 1:30 and 2 a.m. Pacific time. Once in a while, there's a glitch. Once in a while, I schedule it incorrectly, but it usually goes out, okay? So that morning. So you should see it right in your inbox. Best way to keep up with all the product drops, all of that, right? So And yes, sometimes, Terry, today it went out a second time because the header didn't save. So once in a while we have a little bit of a glitch. So, but yes, it is there. So I wanted to tell you that. Um, Other things that are happening, Janice and I are working on our East Coast retreat, another kind of bigger retreat. If all goes well, we haven't locked and loaded it in, but East Coast, near to where Janice lives, end of September 2026. Okay. So once we get that all wrapped, we're going to have it wrapped up in the next probably 2 or 3 weeks. We're going to start taking deposits for it because we've got to lock it in. I'll have some news for you about the West Coast retreat. We'll talk about that. And we'll also talk about the Metals Madness retreat that Emily and I are doing here in Fresno. If you weren't watching on Wednesday, Emily shared with us some news, which is fantastic news for her, but I wanted to just repeat Emily's broadcast on Wednesday, the fishy earrings, such a great broadcast. She is retiring from Bead Shop Lives with me. Okay, she'll still be doing the West Coast retreat with us, the Fresno retreat with us. We're looking at having another special guest on our East Coast retreat, someone that we that's over on the East Coast. It'll be fun. So yeah, so don't worry. I mean, we are gonna so miss Emily on the lives. We may be, we'll see. She needs some time away. She needs to really, she's doing so well with her personal jewelry. She's got some just ideas about what she wants to do. So, but do remember, and we'll do tributes to Emily often. We'll remind you of her broadcasts, right? Her broadcasts aren't going anywhere. You can still reach her over on her email. So if you have questions, her email will remain open at emily.beadshop@gmail.com. Okay, so I know that all really beautiful relationships sometimes have to come to an end. But Emily is not, she's not leaving us completely, but we are so fortunate for everything that she did for us. And let me see, this is it. Emily, we will miss her since way back to her days at Baubles and Beads. You know, Emily and I had kind of concurrent jobs. I was class director over at Bead Shop. Emily was class director over at Baubles and Beads. So, you know, it's time for her to really be able to focus on her jewelry and do some of the things on her bucket list, right? So, so it was great. A project lookbook is actually a great idea, Caroline. We should put some of those together. I'll put that on my long next 6 to 8 months list. And yes, we are so excited that she's going to be able to for her to do her. That means, though, that we will be also sharing some other designers. Danielle's not going anywhere. You don't know who's going to pop up in front of the camera with me. So yeah, so that's the story. We're sticking to it. But today I have the Muse mix back. It has a couple of modifications because beads change, beads come and go. But I'm really excited to share this for you. A lot of you have emailed in and said, Kate, we want the Muse mix back. We want to make that Terrazzo bracelet. So I'm going to show you the bracelet today. We're going to talk about tilas. We're going to talk about tila symbols. I'm going to show you how this goes together. We'll look at the bracelet, and I'll show you how to put it together. I also have some components for the earrings with the Terrazzo kit. So yeah, that's a story there. So we're going to play around with them. Janice and I also talked yesterday about new shaped beads and new symbols for those shaped beads. We're thinking of paisley duos. Let us know what you think about paisley duos. I'm kind of in love with them. To be honest, I've never even held them in my hands. So we're going to get some. But I think what Janice and I are thinking is they go great with gem duos. They go great with super duos. We'll be able to create like round, like mandala type things. And a paisley duo it's a paisley shaped bead with 2 holes, right? They're really cool, and they have some great ways to use them with the symbols. We're so into the symbols. Oh, good. We're hearing that paisley duo. All right, Sharon's in already. They do sound fabulous. They look fabulous. It's a lot like, it has the 2 holes like the super duo, the 2 holes like the gem duo. But they have it's a great way to make circles, right? And I'm really into doing circles and stuff for earrings. So let me show you storm duos, Alita. What's a storm? Is that a thing? Is that a typo, or storm duo is a thing? Let's look. We'll look. Oh, and great. Michelle says she's used them in earrings and she'll post a picture. Great. I'm excited, right? Good. All right. So let me add this in and they're S-shaped. Interesting. All right. We'll have to look. Let me add this to the stage. I keep cleaning my glasses and they keep not getting clean. Let me do them one more time. Get them clean, and then we'll take a look. I don't know, Danielle, did she do a storm duo project? I'll have to take a look. That's good to know. I like that story, but the paisleys, I like them. They have a lot of real estate to them, right? I like it. Let me see if these are any cleaner. No, that's better. Let's highlight this. Okay. So let me show you. Here is the original. Let me get the light a little bit closer. I feel like we need to cast a little more light on the subject. There we go. That looks pretty good. Here's the original Terrazzo. Okay. I'm going to show you the new Terrazzo mix is here. It's in a 20-gram tube, so you'll have plenty. If you want to make sure that you have plenty, get 2 tubes, but 1 tube will go a long way for you. Let me see if I can get this in there. I changed the colors up just a little because what's available, they're mostly the same. There's a little bit of a change in this half-tilas where it was a little darker. We went a little bit lighter. It's just what is available. You know what I mean? It's just, you know how it is. We say this all the time, right? It's supply chain and what's available and what's not available and all that good stuff. So, but I like this with the lighter. I lightened it up just a little. I'm also going to prep, before we start on this, I'm going to prep some gem duos. Because if I decide to make it with an earring, I want to have it ready to go. Miranda just leaned over to take a look.
I'm just peeking.
She's just peeking. So
Did
with the
you
gem duo,
replace the dark blue with the light blue
yeah, see, it's this one.
instead of this one?
Yeah.
Oh, it looks good.
Yeah,
I
I
like
like
it.
it. I like it a lot. It lightens it up a little bit. If you have an old Muse mix and you get a big Muse mix, or a new Muse mix, you can mix them, right? If you want, right? And Janice is saying, yes, the mix is 20 grams versus the regular tile mixes, which are 8.5. It is an exceptional value. It's a really nice mix, right? So let's see. Miranda, you got a shout out.
Hi.
Yes, mix your muses. Yeah, then you'd have two. Mix them, because I know a lot of you already have them, right? Let me also put out, this is the gem duo that we put out in the stepping stones mix. This is the amethyst matte Rembrandt. We're going to start adding some of the gem duos that were in stepping stones, right? I really like the way that this looks. Maybe I'll use some. I had a few. We do, Bonnie. We have all of the components. All of the symbols are in the shop. And they're all on a symbol page, and then you can sort them by symbol type. This one is a gem duo one for the earrings, and you've seen me use this before. It's going to be time to break this out again, this snowflake one, right? Because the holidays are going to be upon us. Didn't we just do this one? This has the gem duo and the super duo, but I did the turquoise splash right up here. These are great to have in your stash. I use these earring tops all the time, even when it's not a gem duo or a symbols piece, right? Someone commented on the earrings that I was wearing earlier. This is another symbol right here, that little ADOT symbol. And then see this one? This is just a hammered loop that I put together, and I put the ear wire on it. I think I did those a while back on a show, right? I know I'd wear this anytime too, Carrie Keaton. I like the way that this looks a lot, and I stiffened it. It's stiffened with diamond glaze. Yeah, with the diamond glaze. This would be beautiful, a beautiful project with your stepping stones, right? So let me just prep one of these. I was thinking also about just using, this is the turquoise green opaque. You could use that. I have a little baggie. These were the ones, the earrings, these, remember these? I did these the other day. Those are such good ones. Where we glued the gem duo there, and I glued one up top there. That's the mint, I think, that's in there. But all of these findings. I know, Annie, I'm in love. I actually need to do the snowflake earring soon. We'll get some more gem duos in, and I will do this one again on a live, because they'll make great holiday things. And we're almost already to the middle of September, right? So let's just get it started, right? These would look great, that center with the duet, wouldn't it? Wouldn't that look good? So anywho. I think I'm going to use this from the stepping stones mix, though. I don't know. I could use a bright. This is the ivory splash. Maybe it's ivory splash. I don't know. It's so hard to choose, right? Because they all look good. This is, let me show you. The ivory splash looks really good and really neutral. in there, right? Yeah. And Gina, I use this. I should call it out. I should do something with that. Stiffening with the diamond glaze is so easy, and it makes such a nice. These look great for holiday packages. Yeah, they're really great. Janice says we need to beat a retirement home for Janice out of gem duos. It's true. It's true. That's funny, JP. Okay. So yeah, so I'm gonna do it. Hang hold please. Let me write that on my list right here. Hold on. Excuse me while I reach for this. And I need my pen, and I'm just going to write it on my idea sheet, or else I will forget. Snowflake and diamond glaze. We carried the diamond glaze in the shop. We sold a ton of it. We were really on a diamond glaze kick last year, so we'll get back onto that kick. Okay, let me just lay these out in case you want to do a screenshot, and then we'll move on. So that's there. That's there. Here are these ideas. I'll link them in the newsletter this weekend as a reminder. Okay. But this will be good. There's screenshot time for those. Okay. Screenshot. I'm also, let me just put me back up here in a second. I'm going to just clean my camera a little bit here. Okay, there we go. Alrighty, so that looks better, doesn't it? Okay, let me get these out of the way for the moment. Let me glue. I need to make a decision. I think I'm going to go with these. This is the Amethyst Matte Rembrandt that came in your Stepping Stones kit. Janice and I will definitely get these in just tubes so you can get them. But if you got the Stepping Stones, you have a tube of this already. Okay? Right here. I think it goes really well with whatever color this is in the Muse, right? Hang on. Let me zoom in. Hang on. I'm just gotta. It's hard being the camera person and the talent and the production assistant.
I'm the production.
I know you are the production assistant. It's true. Get over here and zoom in my camera.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Ready for my close-up. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, the snowflake, my mom is asking, they are made actually with both. This is the gem duo right here. And that's the super duo right there. Okay, can you see that? Okay. Terry says, Miranda has no time to assist. She stays up late answering emails promptly at that.
Hey.
Girl needs to rest.
Hey, don't tattle.
Don't tattle. Miranda, are you doing emails late at night?
Maybe.
Oh, someone's in trouble. I know. What would we do without her? I don't know. We'd cry. We'd cry. Let me glue these in. I think I'll just use Zap. Right. Then at the end, you know what I'm also going to use these for? I'm going to tell you right now. I'm going to use this for my birthday earring too. So let me get two. I'm going to do two. That's why I love Free Tip Friday. I can be as random as I want to be, to be honest. Okay.
Not crappy. Always scrappy.
Always scrappy. That's right. Let me get a little thing here and let's do this. I can't help it. My mind, I'll tell you, you guys, my mind just, I can't keep up. My mind is always working. Poor Chris, he knows when, and Miranda too, when I come in and I say, all right, everybody, I've got an idea. Everybody just kind of runs away.
I do the same thing.
No, it is true, but
You and I be brainstorming all the time.
yeah, Miranda and I are brainstorming all the time. And then we circle Janice in on the brainstorm, and then JP's like, okay. And so then it's just always working. Janice, I'm saying a mile a minute, JP. When I go to Janice and I say, Janice, this is what we're going to do. But you know what? Janice is used to it because back when I started working for her, back in the day, I'm going to put myself up on this too while I do this. Yeah, in the 1900s, Miranda, in 1992, August 14th of 1992.
Oh my goodness.
I know, I remember it like it was
Older than
yesterday. I know, older than you. From the gate, she would say, sure, whatever. I'd say, Janice, I've got this idea. And JP, true to form, would not flinch and would just say, all right. You know, and she still does it all of these years later. She maybe she flinches a little bit. I don't know. But, you know, that's the beauty of it. It's the beauty of a small business. We can all support each other. And we can also be really, really truthful when we're like, you know what, that's not your best idea ever. So, you know, so I love that. All right. So getting ready for this. I'm going to glue these in so they're prepped and ready. I'm going to do a silver one because I'll do these for my birthday earrings. So see how I use zap? I extruded a little zap right out there. Margaret Sloan is asking, where's the cactus?
Cactus.
That was her prickly. Janice is feeling prickly today. We put it in the window. That's hilarious. That was after my time because I would always know. And I'd say, all right, everybody, snap to it. JP's coming in. No, it was fun. It was fun time.
I'd be so scared.
No, there's nothing.
She bites.
No, she does. She bites. That's hilarious. So I put a little of the glue there, and now I'm going to put one of these in, and we're going to press it. Okay. So there's one. I've used the zap because I really want it to grab in there. So we'll just put that aside. Let me put it in a little dish so it doesn't. But here you go. Now this is an earring top. I mean, it's wearing. Oh, there's Emily. Emily, were your ears burning because we missed you? I bet they were. So there's that one. So I'm just going to come in and I'm going to glue all of these down. The zap, you don't need a lot, right? You just need, that's why I'm doing it with like this little paddle thing, or you can do it with a toothpick, but you don't want a whole ton of glue in there, especially to come out the side. If it does, just kind of wipe it away and then be careful not to glue your finger together. There it goes. So there's the second one right there. Okay. And then we'll do this one in case that's what we're going to do. Okay. So we've got that there. And there we go. That's good. And we'll do this there. You could use GS if you wanted. You could even use E6000 if you wanted. But I wanted this to really, to really just grab it. Set it and forget it. Right? Okay. So there that is. So these are all just communing over here on this side. Now, what I like to do with my glue, because I will glue myself to my table, I'm just going to fold this up and we'll move it along. Okay. So let's move this down and let's take a look at how we're going to start terrazzo. And I've done this before. I've done it on another broadcast. So we're going to mix it up, a little bit. Oh, and Emily, that's awesome. Emily says she's working on some stuff. Thanks for all the fishies that are popping up on our bead table. So happy you guys liked it. So, yeah, she's there. So always reach out, emily.beadshop@gmail.com. Okay, so let's take a look here. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit tighter. Like so. Okay. So you can see here is the terrazzo, the finished bracelet. And it's a mixture, and you can do this with any of our tile mixes. We've got other tile mixes, right? You don't have to wait for the Muse. You can use this with any of the mixes. Our other mixes are smaller tubes. They're 8.5 grams. So depending on if you use substitution beads or add another plain tube, you may need 2 of our other tile mixes. This one comes in a 20-gram tube, so you'll have plenty. Okay. So the top, what I used here, this is called the papyri. This is the 2. And we have another tile bead ending that I'm going to show you. And I'll tell you why I didn't use it. This is the Soros. And you could use the Soros if you wanted. But see, here's the difference. Papyri is like the full, the Soros is like the half. So when you use this one, I'm going to do it with the big tilas so you can see it. See, it's more like a peyote. They are offset. Can you see that? And that's okay, right? So see how the outer 2 line up, and then the second one here, okay, like this. So the papyri that I used, this lines up everything across, and I just wanted them to line up across. So that's what I did. So see that? See how that goes in there? It doesn't hang down like that. Okay. So these just go across. Now you can do this with, I'm just using the full tiles because it's kind of easier for me right now to show you this. You can grab, like if you're like, oh, I wish this mix had some purple in it or some green or whatever, right? You could, right? Just grab a tube of something and put it in. So this is a good question, Terry. So the way that the half-tilas, see, it's still that way. See, because the holes, they don't go across this way, right, to fit in. They go across that way. Let me get the halves in there. So see, because the holes go across this way, right? So, so that's how it goes with that. See, and then you can use quarters. You would use 3 across. Okay, so you can see that, or you'd use 4, sorry. You'd use 4 across. So let me show you. 4 across for the quarters. I should do this so they, hang on. This one, this one, this one, and this one. Okay, that makes the quarter, or that makes a full. And then 2 halves make a full, right? And then you can use a half and 2 quarters. Okay. Does that make a difference? Can you see that? Okay. So the way you can look here in this bracelet, there's the full, there's 2 halves, there's 4 quarters. 1 half, 2 quarters. Okay. So it just depends on how you want to do them. Okay. We also have then the substitution beads that I used. This is the Terrazzo, and this is the Maranthe. Maranthe is like a half, and the Terrazzo is like a full. Okay. So those are substitutions. Maureen, we were coinciding, right? So these are sold under symbols. These are symbols. They're metal, they're plated. I'm just wild for them. And all of the symbols lines have these substitution beads. This is the substitution bead for the gem duo. Okay. There is another one. This one is gorgeous. That one's called the Legata. And this is called the Adamas. Look at that one for the gem duo. Aren't those gorgeous? And if you go to the symbols page, that we have all the symbols findings on one page, you can sort them by type. You can sort them in a lot of different ways. So, so those are they there. Let me see. In super duos, we have also some substitution beads. We have a substitution metal. Look at this. That's the metal super duo. I mean, come on. Look at that. It's hard to show you face up, but isn't it gorgeous? And then they also have it with the dots on it, if I can find it. See, that one with the dots, right? So all of these shapes have the substitution bead or sub bead, they call them for short. So you can use them that way. Okay. Yeah, so that's that. Let me put these away so I don't screw that up. But they're all there. And You don't need a ton of them in your project. We carry them, I think, in the bags. I think they come in like bags of 20. Don't quote me, but I think that's right. And they're really fun to just throw in a little smattering of metal. You know, I love metal, so they work really well. We're also using this side bead. Can you see here on the side of this bracelet? Let me see if I can zoom in a bit more. All of the symbols also come, let me see if I can get it to really focus. That's not too bad. This is the, I'll tell you what it is. It's the Torku is the side bead. Can you see that? It's got a hole running there and there. And I used it to edge this piece. Okay. Now you don't have to do an edging, right? You can just leave it as a strip like this and it looks great. I wanted to gild the lily a little bit here. So what I did with this, and you can see it, there is an 11-aught here, here, and here. So that's a picot. Here is the Torku, the side bead. And then I thought, you know what fits in that dang side bead right here? I'll tell you what, that Miyuki drop. I mean, come on. Look at how cute that is, right? So the side bead, so that's a good question, Gina. How many side beads did I end up using on the Muse bracelet? I'll show you. I think I also did this so I'd only use one package, but let me count. Okay, let me zoom out a little bit. Zoom out, zoom out, zoom out. Hang on. There we go. And then Carolyn, I see your question and I'm going to address it. So I used 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24. So I used 24. But you can, since they come in packages of 20, okay, you could buy 2 packages. But if you only wanted to buy 1, you could just, like on the end, start with 2 picots, right? And another picot there. And then use the side beads in the center. And then omit this one. Substitute a picot there and a picot there. That would be fine, right? That would be fine. Then you wouldn't have to buy 2 packages. And you'd never, ever notice, right? Because then you would use just the rest there. The picot beads that I used the Duracoat Galvanized Champagne. This is the 4204 right there. And this is, you know how Emily loves the 190, which is the nickel. This is like my go-to matte metallic silver, 2091. I use 2091 in everything, right? I just love it so much. So you could do this picot all the same bead, but I wanted that little glimmer. And I like the space, pardon me, I like the space between the drops. You could use a drop in the middle of the picot if you wanted. This is totally, totally up to you, okay, how you want to do it. Again, I added a little bit of purple, so I used a smoky amethyst, the drop, the 142. You could use whatever you wanted, okay? You could also make the picot, if you wanted this a little smaller, you could scale it down to 15s. If you wanted, I don't know. Doesn't make any difference. Okay. So let me show you how I start this. Okay. Now you are going to see, so I opted not to stitch anything on the edge of this. Okay, so you'll see thread here. You could do a little picot on the side here, and maybe I will on this new one that I start. But what I did is I just went through and I got this nice and tight, and then I jumped down. Okay, so it just depends on what you want to do. But again, this one I didn't. But you could. Okay, so let me zoom out. So now the first row with this, I think I'll use a blue one. The first row with these endings can be a little tricky. Not tricky, but you just kind of need to be ready for it. And yeah, Kim, I agree. You can barely see the thread. So if you don't, it may be a little stronger here without it. So maybe I won't. I'll just do it exactly like I did this one. But you could. Okay. So not to complicate things. Let me see. There we go. And let me get this a little tighter. Okay. So the thread, I'm just going to use, you could use Fireline if you wanted the smoke. I don't have Fireline out. I have KO out in gray. So that's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to use. Okay. And I don't even know what I say in the project. You could use a size 10 beading needle. You could use a 12. Again, it makes no difference. I happen to have a 12 right here. If you have a 10, that will work as well. Okay. Needle that thread. So now I am going to come in and stitch my first one. So let me talk to you about the doming, okay, of this. Now there's a question that Carolyn asked about the doming. Now let's look at the side. Here, let me go back and forward there. So see how this definitely has a top and the bottom. Okay. There is the flat part, kind of hard to see. That's the flat, okay, on the back. So that's the back. Then the top has a little bit of a curve, kind of looks like a wedge pillow a little bit, right? Tilas are the same way, but don't let it, if you don't pay as much attention, you don't need to worry about it so much. Right here, see how there's a little bit of a dome on the top and the bottom is a little straight. So if you want to be super picky, you can make sure that these are always dome side up. Are these dome side up always in this bracelet? No, not at all. Okay. Yeah, for the YouTubes, I think there's one on my YouTube channel, the Kate Richburg YouTube channel, and one on my bead shop channel. I stream out sometimes to both. So just check. Okay, so there's that. So what I do to start is I just stitch this in. I'm going to stitch it in, right? Making sure that I catch it all. And I'm going to bring this through, and then I'm going to stitch it back down. like that. And I'm going to go around a couple of times. I've got a tail here because I'm going to weave this tail back in a little bit, you know, when I get more. So there's that, nice and tight. I'm going to go through, I think I actually went through one more time because I want this base row to be nice and tight. Okay. And up and down. Okay. So that's how we deal with the base, and that's stitched in. Okay. Let me zoom out just a hair. Okay. So now, if we're following this bracelet, I started with a picot here, 11/0. So I'm going to come through. I'm going to stitch. This is the thread path. I come through. I stitch through the top row of my tila, put on my picot. I go back through and I put on my picot. Okay. Because we build this from both sides. Okay. Let me show you. So let me get my second row. Let me just lay this out. I'll do 2 halves and then another full. Okay, so there's my lineup. Okay, but you use any color thread you like, right? This is KO in gray. You can use Fireline. I'd use Fireline in smoke, probably. Whatever floats your boat. If I were using Fireline, I'd use 4-pound. Okay. So here comes this one. Am I worrying about what side is up and what side is down? No, not at all. So there's my next row. Okay. Now, I have to connect this row to the top. Okay. So what I do here is I go back through. I'm going to then put on my picot and go back through. Okay. This is a lot of 2 steps forward, 1 step back here. So let me go back through. Okay. So we're there. Now, I don't want to put my picot on yet because I want my picot, kind of hard to see, but I want my picot to sit right on top of there. Okay. So, and that's what all of this going back through, back and forth, it makes this bracelet nice and sturdy. Okay. So can you see that now? Now I'm ready to add that picot. So let me get these out. Sorry, it's hard for me to get these lids. You need a plier. Now, if you wanted a pop of color, yeah, now you could, Alita, this, if you're a 2-needle gal or guy, 2-needle person, you could definitely use 2 needles. and go back and forth this way, like you're laddering a little bit. To be honest, sometimes I do use 2 needles, sometimes I don't. How do I decide? Meh, depends. Depends on if I feel like it or not. Sometimes I feel if I'm working with 2 needles, I just have one more needle to deal with, right? And this isn't bad. Just to hang in here with me, and you can decide. So now we'll do the picot. There's 1, there's 2, there's 3. Again, your picot could be all the same color, or it could be 3 different. So Kim, thank you for asking about that clarification. Picot, it's actually a PICOT. And it is like, if you're knitting, you do like a little 3-nub picot stitch along the top of a sock. It's this little 3, let me get in there, that little 3 bead, that little 3 bead edging is what it is. Okay, so that's the picot right there. You could do picot all the way across. You don't have to do this side bead if you don't want. Janice mentioned it earlier in the broadcast. If you go all the way back to, if you go to the project page for Terrazzo, there's a really good project map where this is laid out and you can see it. Okay. Yeah, some people love a 2 needle and some don't. I don't know. Sometimes 2 needles, I'm like, where am I going with it? What am I doing? So, especially when I'm teaching, I need to confuse myself the least. But you know, a lot of you are much more seasoned seed beaters than I am. I'm much more adventurous too. So, you know, you do what works. So see, there's the picot. There it is. Now I need to come back and I need to add this picot on this side. So I'm going to use 1 of the matte, 1 of the bright, 1 of the matte, and come through. Sophie's saying here, you can add the 2 seed beads and then come back and add the middle so that it kind of, you know, the 2 sit down and then the 3rd sits sideways. You could do that too, right? However you want to achieve your picot, my friends, works for me. So see here, I'm going to come back through. I'm going to go back down. And I'm going to stitch this down. Now, this row, as I come back, I don't go back through the picot. See that? There comes my needle. Everything's nice and tight, firm, not overly tight. Now I'm going to add 3 more beads. Let me add a quarter-tila, the quarter-tila mode here. Those 3. Let me add a single, I guess. And maybe I'll do another single on the end. It makes no difference how you do it. Okay. And we could definitely use the 2 seed beads, Sue, with the drop instead of using, I'll do that down here. I'll show you. Okay. I'll do the drop next, just the seed bead and the drop. And then I'll do the drop and the side bead. Okay. So see, this goes all the way across. Now I'm going to come back through right, to link that one up. Go back through the top row. And now this is where I add my edges. Okay. Now, if this were 2 needles, let's just say, since we were talking about 2 needles, right? I would have a thread coming out over here. Let me just show you. I don't want to confuse you, but I like options. There is no right way 100%, right? I would have had a needle probably coming out over here. Okay, let's pretend that that was connected. Then what I would do here is I'd add a picot on this side, a picot on this side, send my needle going one way, send my needle going the other, right? So it's kind of like laddering, right? But there's something to me that's kind of meditative about doing it with a single needle, but it makes no difference whatsoever. So if you're like, you know what, 2 needles is my jam, you do it, right? Let me just take that out. So let me use these 2 11/aughts and a drop, and let's do a picot with the drop and the 11s. Let's see how that looks. So there's an 11, a drop, an 11. But for the picot, I need my threads to be coming out of that hole right there, right? So here I go down to this one. Remember, 4 quarter-tilas equals a full. 2 half-tilas equals a full. So here's this. It raises it just slightly, but it does that with this too, right? So let me do this again. One of these, a drop, one of these. You could do a 15, as I said, but you know, I'm going to do the 11. Let's go through, run it all the way back. You could cheat and go across and not go through the picot, but I'm going to go through the picot just because it's there. And then back through the bottom hole. If you can't get your needle all the way through, just do it in steps. And then come across, needle out at the last tila, and tighten. Okay. There's more great 2 needle advice that I'm going to share with you here. Hang on. We want this nice and firm, but we don't want it to look too funny. Okay. So there's that. Okay, there's that one. Elaine says, for peyote, I just use 2 needles for the first 2 to 3 rows with the shorter thread on the needle to attach the clasp. Then you drop it and use 1. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, similar to how Danielle did with the guitar strap. Yeah. Great. So now let me use one of these, one of the sub beads in the middle. And I'm going to use the drop bead on the sides with the torque. Okay, so there's that. Here's my drop. I like to kind of line things up so I know what I'm doing. Right? Where do I want to go? I think maybe I'll do a half. Right there. We'll do a half. And maybe I'll do 1/4 in the white, 1 in the turquoise, and another one in the half. Okay. So now what I do is, because this with the torque, there's no, yeah, I could do a seed bead picot next. Should I space them out? Maybe I will. I'm just thinking about this to be an earring, but I'll move this down. Yeah, I'll do that one next. I'm just thinking for time, but I'll do a seed bead one. I'm going to go a little bit faster. So you can kind of see this. I need to kind of, oh, we're doing okay, but I need to put on the gas a little bit. The 2 quarter-tilas and this. Okay. So there's that. Okay. Now we'll connect it. Like that. See, there's that substitution bead, how nice it looks. Let's put on the picot. Let's do the seed bead for fun. Go back. Tighten it. It's all about the tension in this one. Come on. There we go. That sits nicely. This. Okay. This one goes through. Loosen that up so I can get it through right there, through that picot. And sometimes you have to just kind of, tighten it, and then you need to tighten this side. That's where the 2 needles make it a little bit easier, maybe for tension, but I don't mind. So see, there we go. Now I need to put it through this final one, this last one, and now we'll do the turquoise. Okay. All right, so there's that. Okay. Let's put one of these, a full. Let's put, I like the way the stripe looks. So I'll do 1/4, a half, and 1/4. And I'll do that one, a full. Okay, so there's that. Now I go back through that row. Now, what happens with these side beads? It's a little different, right? I need to be coming up through that bead, so it's just like with the picot, but you're using a 2-hold component, okay? So we want to make sure we're putting this facing the right way, right? Can you see that? Now the drop, now back down. Okay, needles through. Side bead, no, end bead. And remember that your bead needs to line up. See how I'm going through? I'm on the bottom here, right? So I need to do this. My drop. Back down. And back down. Okay. Then I just keep going through and I'll line it up. I just go all the way through and then my needle dips out before it goes through the ending bead. See that there? So Avanda, that's a great question that you have. About this closure. This closure we always carry, right? So we do, we added some more. Janice, will you double check to make sure that we added all the ones? We added them yesterday, but I want to make sure that they got in. From that order. So if you were starting this, you could do a few different things. You could just use like you could end it, like let's pretend that this is the end right here. Okay. You could bead like a 3. This isn't the right, but we've got the Clio clasp like this, right? You could use a Clio clasp like so. And you could make some seed bead loops that come out of this top, right? Across that way. Do it like that. You could reduce it, come through, just use something like this ending and do a wire wrap to connect it, right? You can even do that with a shorter one like this. Where is it? Here it is. The thing about the cymbals, and it was evident when we did the guitar strap with Danielle, these are imported. They're from Greece. So it's not quite as easy nowadays, my friends, to get those things in, right? So we have them constantly on order. So just make sure that you're on the notification list. And when you see them, chuck a couple of extras in your cart, right? So you have them. You could also just stitch kind of like what Emily did with the fishy yesterday. You can use a jump ring, make a beaded loop, and do a jump ring on an end. Yeah, Deborah's saying she hasn't used the quarter tilas before. They have a lot of possibilities with, so see, you could just connect this, do a seed bead loop, like coming out here, seed bead loop, back and forth, and then attach a ring to it too. You could do that, right? So just depends. So now you can see, here's the one with the picot. And Avonda, double check, because Janice may be adding, they may not, our stock may not have gotten added. So she's checking now. So if she replenishes, you can jump over and grab them and we'll add them to your order. Okay, so there's that. So you can see here, there's so much to remember.
Sarah says she volunteers as tribute to go haul some symbols from Greece.
Oh, perfect. Get on a plane.
I'll come with you.
Here's the picot with the 11-aught, the picot with the 11-aught and the drop, another picot 11-aught, and the ending bead, the torcu, and the drop. The torcu could also have a seed bead. You could use an 8-aught in there. You could use an 11-aught, but I kind of like the sticky outiness of this. Now the ending, you just do the same thing with the ending, right? You get your end, it's here. And you could use the Soros too, for sure. Here's the Soros too. It's just that things would be offset and not lined up, right? That works fine too. So with this, you would just finish it with a closure. That's not going the right way. Oh, for the love, come on. Get in there. Right? And we'd stitch it. Okay. Bam, bam, bam. Like that. Then what I did to close it, I used a little bit of the chain. Right? Like this. Oh God, here comes Janice's saying she's going to a yoga retreat in Greece in 2027. She could just stay on and do a bead retreat. Who's in?
Me.
All right, JP. So the clasp and the closure, you can use a toggle if you wanted instead of a chain. I loved the way the brio looked, and I thought for this one I'd switch the brio up. Looks a little more like Terrazzo. Look at that. Wouldn't this look great? So I'm gonna do this as an earring, and I'm gonna add a picot here at the bottom. Okay, who's with me? Who's with me? Perfect. Let me just finish this up, and then we'll attach this top to it. Let's just see what it looks like. Okay. So here's my this. Let's stitch this to it. Let's go through down here between the torcus. Janice, I love that you're going on a yoga retreat. See, I didn't know that. I love it. Let's go. See there? It's going through there. Everyone can bring back a suitcase of findings. Oh, we need to save up some money to get everybody out of Hawk for smuggling stuff back. I think I'll end with a picot because that I like the look of two. I'll end with a picot and a just the plain picot like that, right? I think that works. So one of these, one of these, one of these, and through, right? And yeah, we're still buying all of our tiara cast. It takes long and it takes more funds, but yeah, it just takes a little longer. Gone are the days. Gosh, I miss having tiara cast right down the road. I'm going to go back through this. It was so great, but things change. We can't lament too much. We just adapt and move on. Okay. Oh, great. Alita, you got them. Great. Avonda got them. So Miranda, in Avonda's order.
Say what?
She added we hadn't added the rest of these closures on the end.
Oh.
So we need to combine.
No problem.
Miranda's got you. So see here, and we're just going to do this. I'm going to weave this back in now to finish. Let me just weave. It's kind of hard to come out in the middle of a row with the metal. So I'm going to jump it down here like this. Yeah, same, Terry. I am glad they left such a big hole, and I'm really glad that the quality is kept up, that we can still get them, which is great. But again, I do miss them just being right here in Santa Rosa. But, times change. What are you going to do?
We could do that.
Yeah, we have to adapt and move on. So I'm going to kind of see how my needle is coming back in the center. Janice, I love it. Janice is saying, the reality is by 2027, I envision Kate and I doing retreats everywhere. Who's in?
Me.
Yeah. Well, I knew Miranda would be in. I'm just going to weave this back up to here. So just weave it in. I'm going to try and go up the middle. Right? I mean, why not? Someone's got to do it. The retreats are so fun. We have such a good time. Takes a lot of flipping work, I'll tell you. So see here, there's I'll go one more. I'm going to go over here. And I'm going to go in between these two, right there. Yeah, wouldn't it fun to bring back like bead and button? On a very, very small scale. You never know. So that one I clipped. Okay. Now let me get rid of this one right here. There we go. I'm going to go through this one all the way. Through this one to the center. Down through the center. That's why, and this is why I am using a beading needle and not a sharps, because I need that long, bendy needle here. Okay, I'm going to do this. Turn the corner. And then I'll cut it. I could have also made them meet and tie them off, tie a little knot. I could have done that too. Let me, there we go. Okay, and you could thread burn it. I'm just going to use my clippers and clip it under tension. All right. So that's what we've got right there. Let me measure it. This is going a little long, but whatever. It's Friday. We're all just trying to hang in there. So I'm just going to do what I want. How does that sound? Inch and a half, about. I need to wire wrap this. I need to wire wrap this brio. This brio, I probably need 26 gauge. And I'm just going to wire wrap it right to that loop. And I'm going to use antique bronze. That's 22 gauge. 24 might work too. Oh, great. Fall out too bad.
Is it pearls?
No, it's wire. It's no big deal. Okay. Yeah, Sue, we'll combine you. Don't worry. Okay. For Sue. Yeah, that works on there just fine. So we have a skill builder that shows you how to do a briolet wrap. So I'm not going to detail it too much right here. And then remind me, I'm going to talk before we sign off. There's a couple of other things I want to talk to you about combining and a couple of things that are coming down the pike. Okay.
You're all grounded.
They're all good. It's all good things. But I know that sometimes, and it's not big changes, it's just change to make everything move a little bit more smoothly. So before I wire wrap that closed, right, like this, I'm going to attach it. And I'm going to just wire wrap it directly on here. I could use a jump ring. See, like with this, I attached the chain to a jump ring, and then I wire wrap this one closed and attached it with the jump ring. Okay, so, and I'm going to wrap it just nice and tight on there, like so, and then I'm going to flip. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to wrap it actually going back up to the top. So visually, it just looks a little chunkier. I felt it looked a little thin, especially since this was, I don't know what gauge this was. It might be 24. But let me clip it. Okay. Like that. And like that. Okay. So look at that. Look at how great that looks, if I do say so myself. Let me add the top. I need the jump rings. Where are the brass?
Right here, you ding dong.
Did I give them to you already?
Yes.
Stop your yawning.
I
Miranda's
know.
yawning.
Ah,
Oh
all
my
my
goodness.
emails. Just kidding.
Miranda, stop that yawning.
Then stop dropping stuff.
All right.
Stop yawning.
Okay. Well, do my best. Okay, I'm going to use that oval jump ring. And let me get a thing here. A plier. That one. And this one. Oh, tiny skulls, Tina. The aluminum flowers. I'll get more of those in because it's time. Because we do have. It is spooky season. We need those. I'll get them for you. We'll get them. I'm going to put that. I'm going to close this jump ring up and I'm going to put it on my list. I mean, come on now. Look at how cute that is as an earring. Let me get my list. Okay, notes are made. Let me show you. Let's put it on. Do I have an earring back? Yeah, I do. This is how, just so you folks can see, this is how Miranda organized all of my symbols findings. See how they say gem duo symbols? They're all there with the names in here. Super duos are like this. Mine were just in a big pile. This would make a great center too, right? A necklace center, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see how this looks. So we've got the Terrazzo earring.
Wow, you're fancy.
Look, how does it look? Can you guys see it? It's not bad, especially with this brio. I love the copper turquoise on the bottom. I think I used London blue for the other one, but I love it. Look at it. It's really good, if I do say so.
The highlight and the aqua would be really pretty.
Yeah, it would.
For the lapis.
I mean, anything. Lapis.
Not lapis. Tanzanite.
Tans, you could use amethyst. I love it. Right? So you can see, right? It goes, let me measure it. Sarah, I knew you were going to ask the length. Let me put it back down on this and you guys can see it. I'll get it listed too on the earring page. So you guys have that, the picture. It's not heavy, Ma, at all. Let me, here. There it is. You can get a pretty good screenshot of it here. I like how it had, now, let me tell you, you don't have to use this bottom one on here. I like how it bookends it though, right? You could just finish it off and then do like a little bar of seed beads or whatever. But I think that the metal gives it, I don't know, a good top and bottom. I like it, right? Look at how good that looks. I like this top a lot. If I had wanted it maybe to pick up that brio, I could have done a top that's lighter. But you know me, I don't like things that are too matchy-matchy. I think that's actually better, right? Let me measure from door to door, as we like to say. From where it goes into your ear to the bottom of the brio, 2.5 inches. Right? Easy peasy. So let me arrange this so you can get a screenshot. Let me do that. Let me get this out of the way. And this will get our second one. Yeah, isn't that pretty? Let me zoom in just a little bit so it's not quite so messy. There we go. And this one is the London Blue Topaz, just so that you know, that's what the original bracelet has. The earring, this is the copper turquoise. So use any brio that you like, but I really think, because when I was looking at the project and everything yesterday, I thought that this had a terrazzo feel to it. So let me show you a couple of things. We're going to work, I'm going to have this up for the weekend for you. We're going to be playing around with my birthday earring. Okay, and I'll link it all. We've done these before, right? So we're going to use, I want to use this top. I mean, come on. Just look at that with that one in the center. I was going to do a tanzanite middle, and I could gild the lily since they're for my birthday. Or I haven't decided yet. I thought I might use, and these we carried. This is the Cobalt Matte Rembrandt right here, right? But look at how good these look with that in the middle. Maybe it doesn't need to gild the lily like this, right? I mean, I could use any brio for the center, but I kind of like this because my birthstone is sapphire because September. So this is with my mix. But I'll walk you through it in tomorrow's newsletter so you can play around with it. But this broadcast, I've done this before on the broadcast, so you'll be able to see it. But I'll just do a little extra. But won't those be gorge? Gorge, gorge, gorge. I love it. Okay, so let me chat a little bit just to let you know some other things that we're looking at. I know a lot of you are asking about like combining orders. You know, we're a small group here. We hope to be able to add another order filler, but right now it's not possible. You know, small business where we watch every dime. When it comes in, we cheer, and when it goes out, we sigh, right? So there are some new functionality with our website that I think we're going to be taking advantage of, which will affect combining. Because we love combining your orders. Don't get me wrong. We love it. We love being able to charge you, you know, just one smaller shipping fee, all of that. Because I know every penny counts for you guys too. We get it, you know. But what happens when we combine, and sometimes you think, oh, you know what, I'm just going to combine. Let me just ask them. And then you do it. And then it's like that commercial for the organic shampoo. Remember in the 70s? They told two friends, and then the screen gets big and there's like 200 people, right, on the screen. It's kind of the same thing. So when people ask us to combine, or I do a show like this, right? Where it's a stream of consciousness and I add other stuff. You're like, I'm going to add another order. We don't want you to stop adding those orders. We just want to make it easier for us to combine and economical for both of us. Okay. So there's a new functionality on our website that's going to be called Store Credit. And it's really easy to, with just a couple of clicks, Miranda can store creditize those. I know you like that word.
Yes.
Store creditize those extra shipping fees. That's what slows us down. Because let's say some of you, yeah, I wasn't gonna call her out. Some of you, and we love you. We love it. We do it gladly, but slows us down, right? And anything. Sorry, I'm back. I don't know what happened. Sorry.
Our Wi-Fi.
Yeah, our Wi-Fi literally slowed us down. Anything that slows us down with multiple orders, it just is like that boulder falling down and trying to hit Indiana Jones, right? So in the next, Margaret Sloan, that would be me. And I don't want to call, and we don't mind. And if we had a ton of staff and a ton of time, no problem. But we have to streamline it to speed up shipping time, which this will help, and just for like our sanity, because we don't want to stop combining, right?
And our monies.
And we need, and it's more economical if we do it this way. Yeah, that store credit hit the Wi-Fi. Yes, that's for damn sure. So in the next month, we're going to make the functionality switch over to on our website. What that means is some of you that have been with us for many, many years, you go to the website and you log in with your password, right? Makes it easy. Some of you that have new accounts, when you go to log in, our website sends you a code to put in. All of you, to make that functionality happen, we have to turn all of those grandfathered accounts from a password login to a texted one-time code. Okay. So passwords are going to go away. To get into your account, you log in, you're going to get a one-time code. Plus, it's safer for you. We don't have any control over like seeing your password or any of that. So our Shopify wants us to upgrade to this functionality because we're using functionality that was about 10 upgrades ago, right? So in order to be able to issue store credit, and you'll see that store credit in your account, right? It'll be right there when you go to checkout. Do you want to use the store credit? You click it and you apply it. And it won't matter if you've used a coupon code or if you've used anything else. You'll see a store credit balance there. We're also going to do that. We're going to start doing that for some returns, right? We're still working on that because, we know that you like to have those returns back to your original form of texting. And we're going to look at it, Susan. Don't worry. If you don't text, I think you also have the option to get it by email. So don't worry. We'll make sure that the functionality, that's why I didn't want to make the click and do this. And then everyone's all, hey, what do I do? So it's going to take me a little bit of a while to make that switch. But it will really speed things up for us. It'll streamline, it'll save us some money, which is always good. And it'll be really easy for you to just click and use it. Okay. So, yeah, it's, and your account will be safer. Your information will be safer. We don't keep any of your info. No credit card information is stored on our website. None of that. But it just makes it, in today's world, we just need to be as safe as we can online. So Shopify really wants us to go from a decade ago to today. So I'll explain it again. You're going to get plenty of warning before we do it, but it'll make it a lot easier for us, because what Miranda has to do when she combines, she has to figure everything out. She has to weigh it. She has to do this. So instead of an order just going one click, an order is a click and a this and a check. And did we refund? Did we do this? So it takes us a little more time.
Also,
yeah.
If you ever need to add something to your order, just email me. It's so much easier.
Yeah. Will you come on here and tell them this? Miranda wants to add one more thing, because she's super, super smart. There she is. Careful. Hey, everybody. Hey.
If you just email me and tell me what you need to add to your order, I can just put it on the same order.
Yeah.
Update it, and then you don't even need to
combine
a separate order.
So Miranda, what she's done is she's figured out, we go in, we edit the order. Do they have to?
It'll send an updated invoice,
yeah.
And then you pay.
Yeah. So it'll send an updated invoice to your bead shop, whatever your email that you have registered to us. You pay it, and then it goes on the same thing. So you don't even have to ask us, and don't give us a long laundry list, right?
Yeah, if it's going to be like more than 5 things, just make a new order.
Make a new order, right? But if you're like, oh my God, I meant to get 2 tubes of crimp tubes instead of 1, email Miranda at info@beadshop and put in the line, in the subject line, order add. Even if you have your order number. But my friends, only do this on the same day, right? Don't do this like 3 days later and go, oh, you know what? I think I made that order like 3 days ago. Like, and I want to add it.
Yeah.
Same day, not a problem. Okay. So, and we'll have all of that. That's something that we want to add to our policies and stuff as well. So I'm telling you, we're getting it down, but it's because you're a whiz, a Shopify whiz. We're getting there. Okay. Thanks, Miranda. Thanks. So we want to streamline it. We want to streamline it for you. We want to streamline it for us. Because I'll tell you what, my friends, small business is not for the faint of heart, right? And Terry, I love it because Terry's also in customer support. This is really great advice. As a customer support person, add your order number, add the item name in its entirety, and any details.
Color,
what you want. Quantity, color, what you want, and we'll get you. Okay. So this will all be formalized. It'll all be updated. It's just going to take us a while to do it. And with the retreat, other stuff, it's just, but that functionality is going to roll out in the next month. Okay. So, I think I've covered everything. It's 12:30 Pacific time. I need some lunch. Right. Oh, and see, Terry's awesome. And for the love of Pete, if you contacted us from a different email, include the email address that you use in your user account.
Or your name.
Yeah, or something. So we don't have to guess. But we know you. And Miranda, she's a good darn sleuth. She can figure it out.
Oh, yeah.
So that's what's happening. Over the weekend, look for my birthday earrings. I'll add the Terrazzo earrings. There'll be plenty to play around with. Next Wednesday, it's going to be my birthday bead party. We'll have a great, I know, it's a secret. I can't wait. You guys are going to love it. You're going to love our drop. I'm looking at them right over there.
Even some Giveaway.
Maybe some giveaways. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. And Terry says, one more word for you, Miranda. Remote support is delightful till it's not. Fight the good fight, Miranda.
Hey, if I can do it from my couch,
yeah. No, and you know what? We're really, really grateful. 99.9999% of our emails from you folks are amazing. And when they're not, I don't know what I just did to my hair. When they're not amazing, we really look at it and see what that issue is. Okay? Because sometimes it's something that we need to write. So, right the ship. We need to, you call us out and you're all, hey, this wasn't right. We love that feedback. It's the only way we can get better. I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid of constructive feedback. Just coach it in some nice words so I don't go cry by the seed beads. All right. That'll do it for us. Thank you, my friends. Have a fantastic weekend. Find your center. Find your creativity. It's a crazy world out there, my friends. All we can do is be kind to one another, be mindful about how we treat each other, and be creative. That's all I got for you. All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a great weekend. It's a fun one today. I had fun. Talk to you soon. Bye, everybody.